This is a fourth generation farm. Brent's, my husband's family settled on this farm about in 1918, and we farm about 1,000 acres of small grains and beans with horses and cattle that we raise as well. On the day of the tornado, my boys were up at their grandparents' farm, which is about 15 miles north of here. My husband was at work and I was in Bismarck visiting my sister. We knew there was a chance of some bad weather that day. I'd actually got a text from a friend that lived here saying, you need to get in your basement, there's a tornado, 6 miles west of Bisbee. And I remember thinking when I was in Bismarck that that's my farm. And so I called my mother-in-law and my husband, and they're like, well, it's okay here right now. And then I just stayed in contact with my husband, and he finally got to the farm and discovered all the damage that had been done by the tornado. Well, my husband got here actually kind of in the middle of the storm. The tornado had passed. He had to take a roundabout way to get back to the farm. And he called me, I would say it was around 7 o'clock, and told me that pretty much everything was gone. My sister and I got in the car right away, started heading here from Bismarck. I got to the farm at about 10:30 and looked around and saw the barn that had been here since 1918 was gone. The machine shed was gone. Our house had some damage. We didn't realize how much until later damage had happened. It was pretty overwhelming for all of us. Farm rescue came into our lives at what was really a perfect time for us. It was, I believe, the Saturday after the tornado had ripped through on Wednesday, and then Saturday we got a phone call at the house here, and I answered, and it was a woman from Farm Rescue saying that they would love to come out and help us in any way they could. I was reluctant because I felt that there were maybe other people that had been through disasters and needed more help than us, but the woman on the phone assured me that is what they're there for, and we were very deserving, and they wanted to help us in any way that they could. And turns out they ended up baling a bunch of hay for us at a time where we needed to be here working, and took a big load off my husband's shoulders and our shoulders of when we were going to be able to get that done. Yeah, Farm Rescue contacted us the Saturday after the tornado. We've heard of Farm Rescue before. We actually had a friend that had hurt his back, and they combined for them, and it was a great experience for them. We had lots of friends and neighbors that were willing to help, but Farm Rescue really came up to the plate for us and helped us out when we needed it. For us, there were 4 specific people that took care of baling the hay and lining it up for us. The field that we were actually haying is about 25 miles away, so it does take a lot of time out of our day even just to drive down there to get going, and they were awesome. The one day, the one couple came out to the farm because they wanted to see our farm and see what we had gone through. They told us a few stories about different people that they've been helping, and their generosity and how long they've been away from their own home. They were away from their home since April, helping different people all over. Mostly they said the Dakotas, and it was really nice to visit with them and see the type of people that give up their everyday lives to help others that have gone through disasters like we have. We feel very fortunate to live in the community that we live in. The day after the tornado, there were people here with machinery, big machinery, helping us remove trees that had just taken over our backyard and debris, and remove the barn that was left standing, the parts of it that were left standing. People brought us food, came to give us hugs and tell us how sorry they were for us. We feel very fortunate to live where we live. This community has been great, and the surrounding communities. I work in Candu. My husband works in Rolla, both about 25 miles away from us, and all the communities, area communities, have been so supportive and helpful in any way that they could. Yeah, we had neighbors that wanted to help us as much as they could. But as we know, it's harvest season around here, and most of our friends and neighbors are farmers, and they had stuff that they needed to get done as well. And so Farm Rescue came in and rescued us and helped us with the haying that we needed to do to get done for our livestock to be here and part of our farm. Farm Rescue, when they left, it gave me hope again. It made me feel like the world is still a really good place, even though we hear about all the bad things that happen. It reinforced my faith in the place where we live. I would like to tell Farm Rescue, I don't know if there's enough words that could tell and say how I appreciate what they did for us and the others that were affected by this tornado. What they do is just so unselfish and giving, and it helped my family so much. I just want to say we truly believe that we're truly blessed. This was a disaster, a tragedy for my family that we're still going through every day, but we're healthy, we're safe, and it has renewed our faith in people again. After the farm rescuers were here, my husband and I had a talk about how we would like to someday be able to give back just like they gave to us. So Farm Rescue, if you ever need some help with anything, just give us a call.